Hello, dear friends. Unusual means rare, strange, infrequent, unheard of, extraordinary, surprising, extravagant, or pilgrim. Opinion piece. Three unusual things: two eclipses, solar storms, Devil's Comet, Beyond Bizarre, Tremor of Force, surprising and unexplained, mysterious GPS interference. Let's start. The three strangest current things are eclipses, solar storms, and the presence of the so-called Devil's Comet. The coincidence of a solar total eclipse that will be visible in North America on April 8th, along with the passage of Comet Ponsbrook, known as the Devil's Comet, stands out. This comet, with a 71-year orbit around the Sun, will approach Earth after 70 years of orbiting the solar system. Its presence during the total solar eclipse adds an element of wonder to this astronomical event. In addition, it is mentioned that the Earth faces a period of maximum solar activity, which adds an additional component of interest and complexity to the current astronomical situation. Beyond Bizarre was a fascinating television documentary series hosted by Jay Robinson that aired on the Discovery Channel in 1997 and featured footage of great unsolved mysteries. Each episode focused on a different mystery, from UFOs to ghosts and just about everything in between. The series delved into paranormal phenomena, strange events, terrifying trivia games, and stranger than fiction stories, offering viewers a glimpse into the world of the strange and unexplainable. Disturbance. Three very unusual things are in the skies right now, according to Night Sky. There has been a huge solar storm that has caused a great disturbance in the Earth's magnetic field. A comet that only arrives once every 71 years is passing through the solar system, and the lunar eclipse has just painted the sky red over much of the planet. And of course, we are just a couple of weeks away from the great eclipse of 2024. A solar storm hit Earth on Sunday. The good news is that this storm was not strong enough to damage our power grids, but it created a major disturbance in the Earth's magnetic field, and CBS News reports that we should keep a close eye on the Sun because more X-class flares are possible until today, Wednesday. The planet was hit with what they dubbed a severe geomagnetic storm, the second highest level in the rating system. The event brought a major disturbance to the Earth's magnetic field that may have impacted infrastructure, and the northern lights were visible farther away than usual. This particular solar storm exploded alongside a solar flare on Friday, an event that occurs when electromagnetic radiation suddenly leaves the Sun. These flares can last for 4 hours, and the eruption travels at the speed of light, meaning it can impact Earth as soon as it is absorbed. A Class X flare, like the one observed, is the strongest type of flare, although this particular one was not the strongest on record. Devil's Comet continues to fly through the solar system and could soon be visible to the naked eye. It only comes once every 71 years. Now it's here, and we have told we can see it later this month. A rare galactic phenomenon the size of Mount Everest can only be visible to the naked eye as it tilts toward Earth. Comet 12P Ponsbrook is approaching through the inner solar system and can be seen with a telescope of twins. But in late March, the comet could be seen with the naked eye at sunset in the northern hemisphere on the western horizon in the constellation Aries. Eclipse. A lunar eclipse painted the sky red over much of the planet on Monday. In recent years, there has been tremendous speculation about what blood moons could mean. As the moon reflects the Earth's shadow during a lunar eclipse, the moon undergoes a visual transformation. changing from its characteristic silver glow to a dark red. And thanks to these alluring optics, lunar eclipses have their own spooky nickname, blood moons. On April 8th, we will witness one of the most spectacular astronomical events in human history. This total solar eclipse will be a very important astronomical event visible to millions of people. The eclipse will begin in the Pacific Ocean and will cross Mexico, the US, and Canada until it reaches the Atlantic Ocean. The strip of totally, where the complete solar eclipse can be seen, will be approximately 185 kilometers wide and will pass through 3 Mexican states, 9 American and 5 Canadian provinces. The maximum duration of the total eclipse phase will be approximately 4 minutes only, depending on location. In Spain, the eclipse will only be partially visible and with low magnitude from the western regions of Galicia and the Canary Islands, coinciding with sunset. There are literally dozens of coincidences associated with that event, and millions of citizens will be watching the eclipse that occurs that day. I know many people don't care about the signs of the sun, moon, and stars, but if God is trying to get our attention, those who are skeptical might want to start listening. Anomalies. An unthinkable crash is yet to come, according to Whitney Webb. The dark eclipse that casts a shadow over human civilization will be defeated by the eternal light of our Creator. Meteorological anomalies expected in Europe and Asia south of 55 degrees north latitude. According to Valtor, the media have been ordered to start 10 days of disclosure containing true news, but not to call them 10 days of darkness or they would lose their license. USA. Obama claims he was born in Kenya and not in Hawaii. Insurance industry panics by canceling house warners policies ahead of post-election arrest, according to Mike Adams. Debt party. There is a fear of collapse like the one that brought down the British government. UK farmers protest in London. Solar panels in Texas hit by hailstorm. House prices plummet and inflation would be 18%. The Baltimore bridge collapsed when a cargo ship hit it. The collapse of the bridge of the Port of Baltimore could create a domino effect in the automobile industry, causing stock shortages and rising prices. The incident is also expected to take a toll on the broader economy. The UN General Assembly adopts the first resolution that encourages promoting security and reliability in artificial intelligence systems. War rumors. Spain rules out sending troops to Ukraine. The Spanish economy grew by 2.5% in 2023, 5 times faster than the Eurozone. Nigeria and Morocco challenge Algeria with the largest underwater gas pipeline to Cadiz. The European Union cannot replace US aid to Kiev without sinking the euro and the economy. The Economist believes that Ukraine needs to admit its mistakes. Russia. But Putin advisor says it's time to admonish the West, according to Sorchafal. Putin says it's clear who dug the concert hall. The question is who it benefits. Those involved in Friday's attack has agreed on the time and place of stay in Istanbul a few weeks before, according to Turkish security sources. According to Ezra's Shadow, in Tenet, Christopher Nolan's 2020 film, the protagonist, an intelligence agent, participates in an undercover mission at an opera house in Kiev. Does it sound familiar to you? Europe. The new European night train connects 4 capitals from Brussels to Prague. Farmers demonstrate again in Brussels despite the concessions. Cocaine consumption causes an increase in nose jobs in Belgium. Half of Europeans are against the Union's migration policy and ask for more border controls. Thousands of starlings create a black sun in Denmark. Free energy. The Belgian company Turbulent has created a water power turbine that could be used to bring energy to rural areas without connection to the electrical grid. Massimo Turbulent Hydro's Vortex turbine is an ecological way to harness the energy of rivers and canals with little difference in elevation. A single turbine can generate 15 to 70 kilowatts of constant power 24 hours a day. This whirlpool turbine uses water to provide unlimited energy. Conflict. The EU supports Ukraine not out of love for its people, but because this policy corresponds into European interests, declared Josep Borrell. It is not a question of generosity. The EU once again supports Ukraine with despite opposition from its farmers. Hungary extends ban on imports on Ukrainian grain if EU does not resume tariffs. The European Parliament demanded that Russia return to Romania its gold and valuables evacuated to Moscow for safekeeping during the First World War. The world's largest diamond center in Antwerp, Belgium, faces losses following the ban on Russian diamonds. Strike madness in Germany. The economy collapses. The demand for natural gas could cause new price growth in Europe. Cancer increased after the bombing of Serbia. Americas. 13.5 million immigrants tried to cross into the US through Mexico in 5 years. Mexico will provide economic support to Colombia and Venezuela to reduce immigration. Mexico went from fear of buying online to leading e-commerce sales in the world. Argentina reports that it houses political opponents in its embassy in Venezuela. Milei seeks extraordinary powers after the failure of the omnibus law. Argentina announces a pension increase for retirees subject to inflation. You should not justify or silence the Moscow attack, said the rector of the University of Ecuador, Ricardo Hidalgo. Ukraine has a competitor. Denmark could sell its F-16 fighters to Argentina. Colombia insists on breaking relations with Israel if the fire in Gaza doesn't cease. Brazil and India begin a new strategic phase in their relations. Bolivia inaugurates the first of 3 biodiesel plants to produce 12,000 barrels per day. Bolivia manages the export of 11 million tons of iron to China. China prohibits the use of Intel and AMD chips in state computers. Mysterious interference. More than 1,600 planes have been affected by mysterious GPS jamming across Europe, and Russia is feared to be responsible according to the Daily Mail online. We are entering uncharted territory, as this session has been the longest to date. The first 24 hours were at full power over Sweden, Germany, and Poland, and after 4 hours it was reduced to Polish airspace. Planes flying around the Baltic Sea in the northern Europe have been suffering from technical problems caused by interference since Sunday, with 1,640 planes, most civilian, reporting problems in them. Although most of them appear to be taking place in Polish airspace, blogs have reported that planes flying in German, Danish, Swedish, Latvian, and Lithuanian airspace have suffered interference problems. No interference took place in Belarus or Kaliningrad, the Russian province separated from the mainland by sea and land. The planes appear to be suffering from GPS interference, which can confuse pilots, as this can make them believe they are in a different location than they actually are. It finished with 63 hours and 40 minutes at 2:18 p.m. yesterday, Tuesday. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.